What's going on, everybody? Vince Goodrum here. It is Thursday afternoon. I'm at home, a little sick, have a urinary tract infection. It's not gonorrhea, it's not the clap or anything like that, so you guys don't get any second thoughts. You know, happens every once in a while, probably something that I ate. But, I'm taking medicine for it, it's perfectly fine. But, all things are not fine in the Genoverse, obviously. And a lot of you guys been hitting me up about the video. So, looks like we're going to have to go and take care of some piss trooper business. And I have watched the video. Just to let you know, I didn't watch it on the Patreon account. I watched it on Reddit. And guys, let me put something to you this way. Only a complete dumbass would put a video on Patreon in the likes of what Big Lenny published in order to make money, because it's going to end up turning up into other places. Period. And, quite frankly, I was already aware of Big Lenny doing a shitload of drugs, in this case GHB and other narcotics, because, a lot of the other guys, Brad, Nate, and them have discussed it before on their shows and other walks of life. I've kept up with the Genoverse for quite some time. I'm an astute scholar of the Genoverse. I'm very aware of the Delray Misfits activities. Why? Because everything flows to me in terms of Delray Misfits. It's just widely out there and widely available. So you can't help but to, keep track of the Delray Misfits and the Genoverse, because it's very easy to do so, but we're getting off subject. A lot of you guys asked me about Big Lenny, and, first off, I definitely wish him well. He has a serious drug issue. He's had a serious drug issue for quite some time, not just for GHB and recreational drugs, but also for performance-enhancing drugs. I think that they are completely destroying his life. Big Lenny is almost homeless. He's going to get thrown out of his house very soon. The owner is selling the house, and obviously it's going to take another month to clean up his home. And quite frankly, I don't think Big Lenny has anywhere to go except a homeless shelter. But more than likely, he'll probably bum a couch seat off of someone, a friend of his, probably maybe Rob or one of the other Delray Misfits. I'm not for sure. A lot of people have been telling me that Big Lenny has been running low on money, which is the reason why he created this Patreon account and subsequently had the publishing of the video itself there. Now, at first, I thought this was Adam's doing, and I thought he was a proverbial dick sock. But come to find out, it turned out to be old Robzilla, who had really pushed to get the video up there along with Big Lenny. Now, ultimately, this falls upon Big Lenny in terms of the responsibility as far as that video is concerned. But at the same time, the influencers, being Robzilla, possibly the Delray Misfits, and Adam is still somewhat responsible, but, honestly, I'm kind of surprised that he's actually taken responsibility for his actions. I actually respect that shit. In fact, I may call him in a couple of weeks and have him do some work for me. I may actually take him on as someone that can do some web work. We all make mistakes in life there, but, someone who owns up to mistakes, that's someone I can respect and someone I can actually work for. But ultimately, the big question is what the Great One thinks that Big Lenny should do. And the truth of the matter is that Big Lenny is going to have to decide whether he wishes to live or die. He has become what he's hated the most, a cookie cutter. He has let himself down. And regardless as far as to, I guess some people wanted me to respond because he was using a lot of porch monkey and affirmative action and other words. You know, I don't see it as a hint of racism whatsoever. That man is simply hurting inside. So he's lashing out at every source. Black police officer, you know, other people of color, liberals, exec. But it has nothing to do with racism whatsoever. Big Lenny is just hurting. And he's using those outlets in order to relieve himself. Much like you take a piss and a shit in the toilet. You have to relieve yourself every once in a while of bad influences. But he's not doing a very good job of it. The truth of the matter is, I'm not down there. And if I was down there and I had a place to stay, I would let Big Lenny crash at my place there and get him the help that he needs there. Because at the end of the day, you know, we're all bodybuilders and fitness professionals in this industry, you know, and I consider him the same. You know, we got to help out our fellow brothers and sisters. You understand? Hell, I would even let Jay Masters' ass crash on my couch. I'd have to get a bigger couch, but yeah, sure, he could stay over. Maybe sleep on the floor. Because he probably couldn't fit on my couch. But enough joking. I'm being dead serious with that. So in terms of Big Lenny is concerned, you know, 90% of it is entirely his fault. The other 10%, I'm going to actually blame on Robzilla. And Rob, if you're listening out there, how dare you, man? Why go and take advantage of someone at his lowest point? Just because Big Lenny tells you to go and publish something, even if he did and he yelled and screamed about it, that doesn't mean you put it up there. Being a friend is letting someone know when they're fucking up and keeping them from fucking up. Period. And if I was down there and Big Lenny had asked me to put up that video, I would have said, hell no. No. Absolutely not. I would never put such a awful video up there of someone at their very lowest points, someone that's vulnerable, and subsequently someone at the end result of the video is being harassed by trolls at his workplace, possibly could get fired again, the same as Robzilla. Robzilla actually deserves it. He should have known better. But, you know, I don't want anyone losing their job there. So, trolls, stop, you know, I can honestly say stop trolling him at his job, but what good will it be? It won't do any bit of good. At this point in time, this is more than just a Big Lenny problem. This is a Delray Misfit problem. This is a Jay Masters problem. This is a Genova problem. This is a Piss Trooper problem. This is even a Vince Goodrum problem because, you know, even I have a smidgen of responsibility because we have cheered this motherfucker on for quite some time. We really have. I mean, we've cheered on Big Lenny and we've encouraged him into his vices. Period. I mean, what more can there be said on that? We've encouraged him in order to act in this type of manner, and he's gone downhill since then. So, as far as a GoFundMe is concerned, that is not going to be the solution, because if you go and give Big Lenny money and you give him access, I don't think he's going to go and use it to better himself. He's probably going to go and buy more drugs. What needs to happen is a trustee of his choosing, maybe, or a good friend's choosing, or family member's choosing, should hold the money and then use that money in order to get Big Lenny help. Because here's the thing, if it goes to anyone else, well, that money's going to flow back into Lenny's hands, and he's going to continue to completely fuck himself up. Now, Big Lenny, if you're listening, or if someone passes on this video to him, let me let you know your life does have meaning, as everyone's. Nobody wants to see you die, okay? You need to go and be an adult and seek help. Don't be a cookie cutter. But worst yet, don't be a corpse. And, you know, as far as everybody else, the Delray Misfits, you know, taking him to Black Rose, knowing that he's going to do a lot of drugs, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? I mean, you should have taken him to Long John Silver's or Burger King instead. Don't take him to no fucking club to where he can go and indulge in his vices. I mean, that's just common sense, people. Big Lenny, as you know, is a human being at the end of the day. You know, as much as everyone else, no one wants to see anyone in that kind of state there. You know, I certainly don't, and I was very troubled and very sad at the display that I had recently seen. But now it's out there, and we have to address it as a whole. And at this present time, I would love to give money to Big Lenny in order to help out, but, you know, I can't really donate to his Patreon account there until he has some sort of trustee that has his best interests at heart. You understand where I'm coming from, folks? And it seems as though not many people have his best interests at heart at this time, or they mean well, but whatever they're telling him, Big Lenny is simply not listening. But, you know, at the same time, some of you think that Big Lenny should just off himself if he wish, you know, 50-50. If a person is in his saddest and most depressed state whatsoever, he is going to jump off that bridge. So telling him that if he wants to die, he can die, it is completely unacceptable and completely stupid, because you're just simply pushing him closer and closer to the edge. Get help for Big Lenny, because he doesn't seem to recognize that he needs help. That's what needs to be done. If you need to get in touch with one of his family members, then you need to do so. And I'm talking to the Delray Misfits as a whole. Nate, Adam, not Rob. Rob is pretty much fucked up this whole situation to begin with. I do actually blame Rob for this whole thing, you know, to begin with. Not entirely. It's still Big Lenny's life, but Rob was a influencer, a big influencer into this whole debacle unfolding. I'm just fucking irritated. I'm sorry if it's, I mean, normally this is going to be a comedy show and everything, but this is not fucking funny, people. Big Lenny almost OD'd and ended up in the hospital, and we were going to watch it live. I don't want to watch someone dying live on video. I'm not some sort of sick freak or anything like that. You guys need to go get Big Lenny some help, because he obviously doesn't recognize just how much trouble he really is into. Fuck being homeless. That's the least of his issues. He has a drug problem. And, you know, like I said, it's a Delray Misfit problem. It's a Piss Trooper problem. It's a Vince Goodrum problem. So I'm doing my part in putting out this video. Hopefully Lenny hears it and heeds my advice. I seriously doubt it, because he's going to need a lot more help than that. Because he's been doing it so long that he thinks nothing of it. And he doesn't realize that his life is in danger. But more importantly, he doesn't realize the value of his life. You should always give your own life value. because you only have one. That's all I got to say today, people. Take care.